we see a silhouette walking through the cobbled streets. Someone who moves through alleyways in darkness, fighting against the creatures of night. Severance, would you care to describe yourself for us?
So is um she seems to be in her 20s. She has long black hair that she has tied into a braid. At the end of it is a green ribbon. She is pretty pale, but her green arms are pretty stark against everything. She wears a black cloak that has a hood on it, and it seems to be a fancy Victorian shirt that you're able to see under that, along with a long black skirt. It seems pleated. And you could hear the click of her black boots against the cobblestone. The most interesting thing about her, though, is that her right eye, her pupil, seems to have torn, which gives it an odd shape. It almost looks like an hourglass shape, or like an 8 filled in.
For you, it's a day like any other. The sky always blotted out with that bleak gray, fog rolling in from below. Empty, hollow silhouettes walking through, bumping into each other, carts and carriages going to and fro. And just like any other day, you stumble across a missing persons poster. Just another lead, another thing for you to fix, Severance.
Okay. I am looking at the missing persons poster. What is that kind of telling me?
What you see here, I will post in Faces We Know. For the time being. It's a rough sketch of this man, and it just says beneath him, Julius Mangrove, and it says that he has been missing for a few days. It gives you like a date, and it says for further information, visit, and there's like an address for a guard outpost.
Okay. Is there does it say a bounty or anything or more information? Is it just looking for the missing person?
I think there is like at the edge of the bottom of the poster a reward of 200 green number.
Okay. All right. And you said you had mentioned earlier that I already kind of have a thing going on. Is that what you said? Like I'm already kind of looking for a monster, and this is like correlating with that.
So that was like originally an idea, but it's scrapped for this. I will say, like, for purposes of what's going on where you've been, you got that letter that I sent forever ago saying to like go to Valhaven, and you're on the way there now, and you're just passing through this smaller city to get there. But of course, along the way, you found this poster, and I think it stuck out to you a little bit.
Is this like an older person?
No, he looks like he's kind of maybe in his 40s, like early 40s. So I wouldn't say he's necessarily old, but he's, he seems like kind of a regular guy. He has like this very pointed nose, well-defined cheekbones. He's a human. He's a human man.
Puts back the missing person poster and continues on her way.
Okay.
And she just continues through the streets of Valhaven.
So you're not in Valhaven, you're headed to Valhaven.
No, yeah, like heading to there.
Okay.
Like I don't think Severance deals with monsters, like unless someone specifically paid her to care about this. I don't. She's like, people go missing all the time.
Okay.
Unless it was a kid. Yeah, sorry.
So that's the prologue session. We're wrapping up. No. Okay. So you head through the city. Eventually you're making your way out. This is like just a smaller city. I don't even think it's named. We can just call this Haven Hall for the time being. and you make it to the city gates that kind of lead towards Valhaven. And I think it's at this point when you notice outside a handful of like NBO guards dressed in full kit, mind you, like they are in that black crystalline armor. Um, and I think that a couple of them are approaching this this fatherly figure. He's definitely older. He's got to be like, I mean, he's a dwarf, so for him to be older, he's probably in his late 200s at this point. And he's there with his family. There's two kids. There's a mother as well, who's also elderly. She's got a cane to walk, and one of the guards hits the father in the face with the butt of his gun. The father goes skittering to the floor, and he looks up and he's like, "Please, I just need to get in. I have my papers. I lost them. That's all." And the guard looks to him, and he just kind of shakes his head back and forth. No.
Severance, I think, like, generally looks over what's going on, and she looks over at the what do the kids like? What are their expressions?
They look really scared. And the mom is kind of like trying to hold them back, like kind of shielding them from whatever's going on here. And the old man looks up and he's like, "Look, I was pardoned. I'm allowed back in the city. You can't do this."
Severance, I think, starts hurriedly kind of stepping over and like puts herself between the guy and the guard, but she's facing the guard, almost trying to intimidate him.
Go ahead and roll intimidation for me.
Perfect. My intimidation is +6, so that is a 25.
Okay, yeah. The guard looks at you. He notices your stature, and he also, I mean, your eye is a little off-putting, and I think you scare the shit out of him a little bit. And he kind of takes a step back, and he doesn't say anything.
She kind of like looks him up and down, before she just goes, "What's the issue over here?"
Are you saying that to the family or to the guard?
To the guard.
He looks to you a little like hesitatingly, and he says, "This dwarf was a thief a couple years back. Got banished from Valhaven. Can't come back into the city. He says that he was pardoned, but he doesn't have the paperwork to prove it."
Severance turns to the dwarven man. "Where did you leave this paperwork?"
Can you go ahead and roll a quick insight check for me?
Yes. Oh? Insight. That is an 11.
With an 11, I don't think you are able to tell what this pause is, but before he speaks, the dwarven man looks to you, and he's really looking at you, and then there's almost something, almost like a realization, and then he speaks. I left... I'm not entirely sure. I just lost it on the way here. I must have lost it in transport, or maybe it got swept away in the wind. I don't know, but I had it.
Are you not able to get another, how do you say, form that shows?
I mean, I'd have to go back to the courthouse, and my legs aren't what they used to be.
I could go grab those for you if you would like.
Yeah, if you could.
Won't be far.
Here's just for proof. Here's my ID. And he pulls out this little. It's almost like a. I want to say it's almost like a coin, right? Like this is a metal slate sheet that's probably about 4 inches by 2 inches wide, and it's made of almost like a brass material. And engraved in it is like this old dwarven, like it's an old dwarvish language that you can't read. But he says, This is my form of identification. My family's had this for generations."
Alright, I will go grab that for you. And she turns back to the guard. "Until I get back, they can stay here if I find them any more beaten." I better not.
The guard just kind of nods to you.
And Severance is gonna go ahead and probably get that paperwork for him.
Okay, so there is a courthouse. I'd say probably like in every city that makes sense. So you're able to find when you head there. You see like some city guards kind of arguing with each other outside about something. Interestingly enough, you notice there is a small barricade out front of the courthouse. There appears to be a bunch of different like NBO soldiers in armor, many of them younger, and they're kind of bickering with each other. Some of them are just like sitting down, like almost with their backs up against the barricade, like shaking their heads. There's a guy smoking. They all seem pretty distraught. And this barricade blocks off the stairway that goes up towards and into the courthouse. And as you approach, one of the guards here, who actually isn't an NBO guard, but rather a city guard. I think the main visual discrepancy between NBO guard and city guard is like NBO soldiers wear their black armor, whereas city guards are usually like whatever cobbled together iron or steel armor mixed with clothing that they can manage, right? And I think you notice like this is definitely a city guard who's of higher caliber. Like he's got some little ribbons and shit on like this giant shoulder pauldron, and he kind of walks up to you and he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but courthouse is closed off for the time being.
I think she kind of blankly stares at him for like a couple seconds that are like a little awkward, before she's finally like, why?
It looks like they're having a little bit of authority issues with our esteemed guests, and the guard looks over towards the MBO soldiers.
Why?
Well, I don't mean to speculate. And he kind of like leans in a bit. I hear tell that the president's been assassinated. That it's all over for this lot. Kind of splintered and split and all that. It leaves the people here, these... And he kind of like points at them with his thumb. These are soldiers without orders, or anyone to give them orders. And these are the fuckers that have been occupying our streets for the past couple years, running the show. And now they've got nobody telling them what to do.
Severance kind of like glances off awkwardly to the side before she looks back. Then why don't you just start commanding them?
I mean, I don't really have that power. I mean, they can't take orders from me. We're two separate organizations. That would be like
Well,
you ordering them around.
She shrugs and, she wouldn't do that really, though. That would be really fucking funny, though. I mean, they don't have any authority anyway. What difference does that make now? These are just now people with fancy armor under no jurisdiction. No?
Well, technically, the country's still under martial law. We're being occupied by their military. It's a mess, really.
But now they're not part of the military because they have no leader. So now they are nothing.
And
isn't that what you were saying?
Ma'am, this is a whole conundrum and why the place is closed off. All the politicians and houses of nobility and everybody and their moms in there fighting about it. Which is why I can't let you in there.
Why not, though?
Look, I was just told that civilians can't go while they're figuring everything out. I'd love to let you in, but I can't.
She kind of just hums at him before I think she starts like looking around for a different way in.
I think you notice that there are buildings that surround the courthouse. There's a good chance that there's a fire escape, or you could even climb up the side of the building, maybe do some serious parkour, and just get over the barricade. There's also a chance that there's a back entrance, but it might also be barricaded, or maybe there's a window you could go in through if you go behind.
I think Severance would just climb a building to get over.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
Okay. That is a 16.
Hell yeah. You're able to mantle up the side of one of these buildings. From this height, you can see the roaring stacks of the factories in the distance, the crowd of soldiers below who are all very annoyed, and you can see also there are a couple side entrances to the courthouse that you can take, or even through a window, or there's even actually, I think, at the top of the courthouse building, there's a sky roof that looks down into a room below.
I think you'll just try to go through a side entrance.
Oh yeah. You walk over from like the roof and manage to safely get down, finding a side entrance in the courthouse. It's unlocked. Nobody's here. You just kind of enter without any issue. Walking through, you find these very like ivory white walls. Well, whereas the exterior is definitely stone, the interior is very like marble and quartz, like that kind of aesthetic, with pillars. There's Renaissance style like paintings on the walls and everything. And you walk through these long empty halls until eventually you come to a fork in the hallway. There's signs that designate where to go. There is an immigration office. There is a like council room floor. And there is also oh my god, what's the term for it? Like the generic ass fucking courthouse room where like the judge sits and everything.
Like a hearing room?
Yeah, like there's a hearing room as well. There's also, in the same direction as the hearing room, there are offices.
And I'm just looking for this guy's like court document saying that he's been like released and excused, right?
Yeah, that he's been pardoned.
Okay. So my two kind of thoughts is that it could be in the immigration area since he's a dwarf, but also he had to immigrate out of Belhaven, I'm assuming. Or it could be in the offices. So I'll probably start in the immigration room.
Okay.
So, because I'm assuming that's where they have that kind of paperwork.
Yeah, you head that way, and it leads you to like this giant warehouse-style room of like cabinets and cabinets and cabinets, labeled A to Z, listed. Like, it's a bunch of shit, right? Massive room, and in this room, at a very tiny desk, there is a gnome. This gnome guy, and he's got like these itty bitty glasses, and he's wearing like a loose fitted button up. And as you approach, he looks up at you, and he says,
Oh, hi. How can I help you?
Hello, I am looking for court documents for this person. And she immediately puts the coin down and slides it to me.
The gnome grabs it, and he kind of goes,
Okay.
and he runs his fingers across it.
Okay. I see.
And he takes it, and he runs a corner. He opens one of these filing cabinets. It goes out like 5 feet. He pulls out a little document. He shuts it and hands it and this little card to you.
Thank you very much. She puts them both in her pocket, and she immediately just starts to walk out.
As you're walking out, you see 2 people. Well, actually, now that you think about it, there are 3 here. There is what appears to be kind of a fancier gentleman. He looks distressed. He's an elven male with white hair. He's dressed in like very fancy clothing. To the right of him is a city guard who looks distressed, and in the elven man's arms there is a child. This is a half-orc child. Well, maybe half-orc child. Who looks wounded. And they're kind of rushing, and then they see you.
I think Severance also kind of starts to rush over to check on the kid. What happened?
The noble guy doesn't really answer you. He just looks to the guard, and then he looks back at you. And he says, "This won't be a problem, will it?" And the guard just kind of looks up at you. "Why don't you just move along?"
I'm going to immediately I think Severance is just going to give him like a very scary look and roll for. I'm gonna roll for intimidation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that is a 21.
They both are scared shitless by you. The guard doesn't say anything at all, but the other man then pipes up. Look, I can't have you breathe a word of this to anybody, but I found this kid lost in the canals. And you see he like sets the kid down and is like tending to their wounds. It looks like they have like a massive gash in their chest. And this elf is like pulling out some medical supplies and like is holding a hand to the kid's chest, and like there's this healing light. But I saw something or someone trying to drag this kid away. I didn't want to do anything, but then this guard saw me. We got into a bit of a tussle, and then I grabbed the kid.
The most important thing here is to make sure the kid's okay. You said he brought up medical equipment, right?
Yeah, he's got like a little rusty-ass med kit.
Can I also try to like help this kid?
Yeah, roll medicine.
Perfect. 'Cause I get advantage on all rolls, so right now that's an 18, and that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, this kid is fine. I mean, the cut itself wasn't even like... It wasn't deep enough to do any major damage. It just hurt a lot. Like,
And
it was
like
more or
probably
less a
hit.
scrape.
Okay. I think she'll still like patch it up like as best as she can to make sure like the kid's okay.
The kid looks up around him, kind of seemingly now realized what's going on, and says, Where am I?
You're currently in a courthouse.
Courthouse? And the kid, like, tries to stand up and start running.
I think Severance just kind of like holds him by his shoulders. Like she's not like roughly grabbing the kid, so, but like she does like grab him a bit, just like it's okay.
No, you don't understand. I've got to go find my dad.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have someone help you find your dad.
No, he's in trouble.
No, yeah, I'm going. Is he in? She kind of looks at the elven man. Is he where you were?
I think so.
I'm going, and I think before the kid can say more, I'll go help your dad.
No, you don't.
Trust me, I'll go help him and save him, but you need to be safe.
I'm fine. There's a scary lady with him. She's gonna eat him or something.
She won't eat him, because I'm going to kill her first.
What?
And the kid, like, the kid's eyes go wide.
She turns to the guard, and I will say, I'll say there's like a very clear change of when she's talking to this kid before talking to everyone else, is that she keeps the same like stoic expression, but with this kid, even though it's more mute, you can see that she does care a lot more, and has more kinder expression towards the kid, but it immediately drops when she looks back at the guard. You are to keep this kid safe, the both of you. I will go help his dad. Where, and she looks back at the elven man, where did you find?
Oh, the kid was in the canals, north of here. Like I said, I saw the kid fall in, and I really wasn't going to do anything about it until I got caught.
She, like, holds, like, a long stare at him. Like, I guess one that very much feels judgmental, even though it's not on her face.
Yeah.
Before she shakes her head and just, like runs off to in that direction.
Okay. Holy shit. Well, here's what happens. If you will turn your attention to the table plop.
Austin's like, damn, you're supposed to do the missing persons case first, and then come here.
Well, yeah. I won't lie to you. The missing persons was the entire session.
I'm like, if you made it a kid, she would have cared, but this is a grown man. I'm
Yeah.
like, why would she give a fuck about
That's
this?
why, like, I asked you before session, does Severance care about people? Like, how does she feel about people? And then it was like, oh, I see. Okay. So, where,
It
hold
also
on.
says on her character sheet of like her morals of like she doesn't care about like a lot of stuff unless it's like children or like even teenagers.
I hope that all people die.
She's like, I don't care if they die or not unless they're young. Like she'll kind of do what's right, but her moral compass is controlled by children.
Fucked up. We're gonna
At least
use...
currently.
Ignore this. Ignore that. Oh, it wasn't even you to see that, was it? Somebody else saw that shit. That's funny.
Okay, am I supposed to be here?
Yes. Hello, Severance. Alright.
Yay!
You make your way, towards the canal district. You see, like, this miniature river that runs through this part of the city. You see all kinds of people out and about doing their thing. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, he said that the kid fell into the canal kind of north of this area.
Do not take that as where the compass is. We'll say you're facing north for purposes that make sense.
Like, I don't think servants would ask anyone for help, really. So, like, listening through the streets, I know there's, like, a couple people here, but is there any, like, listening, is there any sound of, like, struggle going on?
Roll
Or
a
anything
perception check for me.
perfectly will. Let me look. Perception. That is a 17.
You hear some splashing coming from over in this direction.
Okay. And I think she'll,
Roll
like, look
a
over.
very quick perception check for me.
That is another dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see, just barely, in the water, there is a man, who looks like a half-orc, and he is being pulled underwater. His head bops up very quickly, and you hear, and then he's dunked back down. You can make out a feminine shape in the water under it, beside him, almost holding it.
Okay. This is gonna. Severance is going to jump in to, like, go help this man.
Okay, hell yeah. You jump in the water. You go forward. Under here, you can see this guy who's panicking, but he's also looking at you. And you see this woman. She appears to be an elven woman with auburn hair, but I think she might have gills. And she's holding this guy, and he looks so panicked. As you approach, she's going to try to pull him away and try to get away from you.
I think. Let me look at her. Severance is going to take out her saw cleaver.
Holy shit.
And she's going to continue, like, advancing kind of towards her.
Okay.
Is this boat? So, like, is this boat in my way? Because I'm under
if you're
it.
underwater,
or...
it's fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna go towards her. And how is she holding him?
Using both of her arms. Like, she's got her arms wrapped around his stomach.
She's gonna try to hit, not like her arm per se, but more like in between, like where her arm would connect, like to her kind of back and shoulder.
Okay.
Do I roll like? Oh,
I need you
I'll
to
say
roll
like
the
one-handed. One-handed. That is. Let me go back over here. One-handed. That is a. Well, that's a 17, I think.
A 17 hits. roll damage for me.
Okay. Then for her, this is 3d8.
Jesus.
And so, is she also a beast, would you say?
No. She does not
Okay, she's
classify
not a
as a
beast.
beast.
Okay. So that's 8 damage.
Okay. You bring this cut into her arm, and it forces her to let go. And she kind of winces. And then she's kind of like free-floating, and then she turns to you, and her eyes shimmer this glowing blue, and her mouth opens. I need you to roll a common sense saving throw.
Okay. That is a 19.
Oh my god, that's fucked up. On a pass, what happens? Okay. You hear, almost for a moment, this beautiful chorus echo throughout your mind, but before it can latch onto you, you're free of its grasp. She's then going to use her movement. Let me see if she has any special movement rules for being in water really quick. I don't think she does. Okay. Yeah, she just starts swimming away, almost like retreating. I won't have you roll for initiative because it's just the two of you. What happens here is the orc guy sees her go, and he actually swims back to the surface, and he's like trying to reach out towards you.
I think Severance like glances back over at her, but she does go up to the surface at least to get water. I mean, not water, air.
As you breach the surface, he says to you, "Oh, are you a quester as well?"
Technically yes, so she'll nod.
I've been hunting that thing for days. Would you be willing to help me?
She nods again before she immediately goes back underwater to chase it.
Okay.
So then are you gonna
go?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, it is your turn, Severance.
Yay!
Actually,
Yippee!
let me just... There's a reason combat music was in here, because I didn't fucking think it would happen here. Lucas, try not to do things different challenge.
Thank you. Also, I will ask, if I shoot my gun, it's not gonna work because I'm under fucking water, right?
It will work for purposes of rule of cool.
Okay. So is he going first or am I going first?
I guess we can go ahead and roll initiative here. I'm sorry. Roll initiative for me.
Okay.
I was just like...
Or we can technically do it by, like, she goes first, then since I entered combat second, I'd go second, and then he'll go third.
Well, I was just gonna have us roll for it.
Okay, whatever. Fuck my cool idea.
Yes.
14.
Like, yes, fuck my cool idea. I mean, you're gonna like the outcome anyway.
Okay.
It's literally what we went in.
Okay. So that's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and so I'm going to use both weapons. Okay, so question. So ambidextrous. I gain ability to attack with both weapons on the same turn. If I use both weapons the same turn, the damage is increased by 2d10. Is that for both weapons or one of them?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So for ambidextrous, it says that if I use both weapons the same turn, because I'm able to with ambidextrous,
Yeah.
damage is increased by 2d10.
I think it's just a flat damage. Like, you would add
Like,
it
just
to
add
both.
that just to both rolls?
Yes.
Okay. So first I am going to attack with my Saw Cleaver in its normal form. So that is. Oh wait, I'm already hitting. So that is 3d8. 7 plus. Okay, 11. And then I'll roll 2d10. And do I just add the d10 whatever I get to both my rolls? Is that what it is? What is my other? Okay, so that's 12. So 11 plus 12 already. And then with my gun, it is another 2d10. So that's a 14 plus
Holy
12,
shit.
so that's 24.
Okay. So you just start going ham on her, and I don't think she expects it. She's surprised by this. She didn't expect somebody so formidable to wreck her shit when she was about to grab a Vic. You just start wailing into her, taking cuts out of her over and over again, and she, like, screams almost, but it just comes out as bubbles. Blood begins to fill the water around you as she has these massive gashes in her body. It is now her turn, and she looks at you really fucking pissed off. She's going
Oh, I
to
wonder what.
she's going to do her multi-attack. So I need first a common sense saving throw. She looks at you, and her eyes flash this blue light, and it flashes all around the water that you're in.
You said a common sense saving throw?
Yes, please.
That is a. Wait, what is my common sense again? Okay, that's a 16.
Okay. It feels like the water's trying to hold you back, but it's not working. Now she's going to make 3 attacks against you. Holy shit. There's a 9 hit.
It does not.
There's a 19 hit.
Unfortunately.
Okay. You see she puts a finger to her head. There's a flash of blue light. You take 13 points of psychic damage. She's going to try to hit you one more time. There's a 22 hit. Lucas? Hello? Guys? Okay. You then are going to take 14 points of damage as she holds her finger to her head, and there's this flash of blue light again, and your head pounds with pain. What else can she do here? I think that's it. Cipher movement.
Hello, am I able to talk?
Hello.
Okay.
She's not going
I'd
to
also like to say, despite Severance taking pain, I think aside from like her eyes kind of like squinting in pain, there's like no other facial reaction from it.
Okay. She's not going to swim away from you. She gets about that far. And then it is not Hargrave. This ain't Hargrave. We're just using his token. It is the Orc Quester's turn. He goes... does she have any reactions? I'm double checking.
Oh wait. Wait.
Yeah.
I forget. I have seized the opportunity.
Oh, so you can take an opportunity attack on her.
Yes. So that is. So that's a 17 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Roll damage.
Okay, so that'll just be 3d8 because I can't use both my attacks, I'm assuming. Otherwise, that'd be really fucking broken.
Yeah. It's just like one melee.
That's an 18.
Yeah. Is that the damage or the hit?
That's the damage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she moves this far away. Technically, we're entering round 2 here in the initiative. I am going to have everybody, except for her, needs to roll another common sense saving throw.
Okay. That is a 17.
Okay, there was this blast of blue light through the water. You hear this chorus in your head. It doesn't seem to affect you. However, you see the orc man get blasted back, rocking this boat, and you see this kind of like ethereal blue light coming from him. It is your turn, Severance.
Okay. 5, 10, 15.
As
20.
you go past him, he kind of turns to you and he like shakes his head no, and he's like trying to grab you.
25, 30. And she is going to hit her with both of her weapons again.
Okay, roll the hit for me.
That is a 22.
A 22 hits, roll damage.
Okay, so first, you know what, let me roll my 2d10s first. For the overall. That's just +4, that sucks. Whatever. So, that's 14. And then 2 more d10 for shooting. That is a 9.
Hell yeah. Sorry. She's looking worse for wear here. You're just like leaving holes in her at this point, honestly. And like the water around you has turned like this pitch crimson color. It is now her turn. She looks really bad. What can she do here? She's gonna do her multi-attack again. I need another common sense saving throw from you.
Okay, that's a 14.
Okay. You are stunned for 1 round.
Oh shit.
She's now going to attack you 3 times. Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
You take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Nat 20. That is... Sorry, bear with me. 22 points of damage.
Oh.
And then she has her third and final attack.
Well, Severance is already going to be in fight for her life either way, I'm pretty sure.
With a 9?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm in fight for your life already.
Okay. So here's what happens. You kind of go a little limp, but then you regain your composure looking at this beast in front of you. She does look almost dead. I mean, it would just be a little bit of push here. Keep the courage and faith, Severance. Seeing that you're you're heavily wounded, she almost smirks at you. And she goes 5, 10, 15.
Okay, well, am I oh wait, I'm stunned, so I'm not able to attack her, I guess?
You're stunned. Until your next round. It is the orc. The orc guy comes over to you, 5, 10, 15, and he's going to try to pick you up. I'm just going to have him roll a quick brawn check. Is that okay with you?
No! Do I have an answer here?
You like in fight for your life mode, you can still do stuff.
I mean, like,
well,
yeah,
you're also
he can...
stunned. I don't want to have him do shit to you without you being able to do anything about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know what you're, like, wait, what is he doing?
He's trying to, like, pick you up out of the water and put you on this dock.
I mean, she might fight against it, like, she's not gonna lose this battle.
Let's have you go ahead and roll opposing brawn checks. Is that okay? Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, tell me what you got. Tell me.
I got a 12.
He got an 8. So, I think that, like, as he gets close to you, you do see, like, this strange blue light in his eyes. And he's, like, trying to grab you, but it doesn't seem like there's any thought behind his eyes. And you're able to, like, just manage to, like, push him off of you. So he doesn't do whatever the fuck he's trying to do to you. Severance, we're going to skip your round because you're stunned this round, but then you are free. Sorry about that. It
Girl,
is
go
now,
fuck yourself.
It is now her
Go
turn.
kill yourself.
She is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does she have? She doesn't have any special kind of movement or anything. It is now his turn. He's gonna roll that same brawn check against you to pull you out of the water. Roll a brawn for me. He didn't do much better than last time. He got a 9.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah. You like? I think at this point you shove him back a bit.
I'd like to think she almost like backhands, like punch backhands the shit out of him a bit. Like not enough to like really do anything, but I think make a point of like get the fuck off me.
Oh yeah. And then I think at this point he goes up out of the water for air. And he's like just hovering. You're up. It's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go here, and Severance is going to shoot at her.
Oh yeah. Roll firearms for me.
Okay, that is a. Sorry, that is a 19.
Yeah, 19 hits. Roll damage.
Okay. Okay. That's not the great one. Oh, that's a 17.
17 hits.
No, like
Oh, that's
we
the
already.
damage. I'm so sorry. Bear with me. Sorry, I'm just like going full autopilot. Okay. How would you like to kill her?
I would say Severance just shoots her right in the fucking middle of her cranium.
Her brain splits and her body begins to go floating to the top of the water. So a couple things happen. You then see her stomach rip asunder, and thousands of these tiny black beads come pouring out from her stomach into the water. And they're just kind of floating around her dead body. And it's at this point that you see the orc guy swim right up next to you, and he's like shaking his head, and he looks at you very concerned.
I think she'll just kind of hop up for air, and she actually does. I think she'll just go ahead and drink a health potion real quick.
Oh yeah. The orc guy brings himself up to the like side of the canals here, and he looks down at you, and he looks over at that, and he says, "Shit, there's more than one of them."
I think she like immediately kind of like looks around like for the other one.
He notices your confusion. He points at these little black beads. That's fish eggs. If she was pregnant, there's got to be more than one.
I think. Okay, so first question. So I'm out of fight for my life. What?
Yeah, you're back
What
up
does?
at like 35% of your health or whatever. Like you'll take fight for your life LP, but you'll be back up. Because I don't want to put you at 1
wait.
or whatever the fuck it says.
Okay, so 35% of 64.
We'll
okay.
go with that for now.
Then plus whatever I just healed. So that is 32 health. So I basically got half my health back. I think she does climb back. Or wait, actually, so how many eggs did she like release?
There were hundreds of them here floating in the water.
Fuck. Okay. I was gonna use like the potion I just drank to like gather them, but I don't think it's big enough to do that.
Yeah, no.
She kind of gets back on shore, and she kind of like shakes herself off, kind of like a dog a bit.
Yeah.
Before she looks at him. Well, then we need to get someone to start collecting the eggs. We have more of them.
Yeah, I suppose so, but she was my only fucking lead. And he kind of like puts his hand on his head. I can't just be running around hunting these things while I'm with my fucking kid.
Well, your kid is safe, by the way.
That's good.
But
I'm glad to hear that.
Because And I would say Severance actually reaches forward and like partially grabs his shoulder in a way that like hurts.
Oh shit.
And she leans in. But bringing your child to hunt a monster, because of your negligence, your child could have died if it wasn't for someone else.
What am I supposed to fucking do? Put the kid in an orphanage?
Have the kid sit on the side, not bring them into your fight.
He seems very dismissive of what you're saying.
Can I roll intimidation?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Like, cause I say like Severance is like in his face, like clearly like pissed off about that. That is a 25.
All right, maybe you got a point. Look, I don't know. The kid's got to grow up and learn how to do this someday.
How old was the kid?
Definitely like 10 years old.
Children should spend their time when they're young being a child. That is the whole point of being a child.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go ahead and post artwork of this guy in Faces We Know. Now that I have one for him.
So, you should get back and check on your child.
Yeah, you're right. Also, I don't know where the others would be. I don't have any leads. All I know was this one. I mean, I was lucky enough to catch her grabbing somebody.
Who was she grabbing?
Oh, just some poor sod.
And he whips out a missing persons poster for this guy. It says his name is Garrett Hathaway. And he appears to be just like a human man. Very generic human man. Not the same guy you saw earlier. This is a different guy.
Okay. Well, depending on where this connects to, that's most likely where they're coming from. And I kind of forgot about this. Can Severance pull out her Stygic language book?
Yeah, absolutely.
And she'll kind of just flip through it a bit to kind of look for this creature that she fought.
Go ahead and roll a quick magic check.
Oh shit. What is her magic? Okay, it's not that bad. Well, that's a 13.
You go thumbing through. You find an entry that's dog-eared, but yet you've never opened this page before. There's entry for a monster called the Lorelei. Often the inspiration for the mythological siren. Some people get Lorelei confused with harpies, which is weird because harpies have wings and are from hell, and Lorelei are fish people. I don't know why, it's just a common misconception, and the book mentions that. They are typically aquatic monsters that feast on both flesh and affection and love of others. Like, they can gain energy from attention and affection. They've been nearly hunted to extinction. At least the book mentions that. They're very rare, but they're also very deadly. They have the power to control you with their voice alone, and they can lure you in with their song. It also mentions that they have like very powerful psionic abilities. And that's why they've nearly been hunted to extinction. Like, if this was, a monster or race that was allowed to thrive and not be hunted, they could very easily take over the world if they wanted to.
Does it say anything about where they are, like, usually from? Like, where they typically kind of stay?
They live in aquatic habitats.
Wow. Okay. Not like they usually live in, like, lakes, bigger parts of the water,
They're definitely
like,
more freshwater rather than saltwater. Like, you wouldn't find them in an ocean, but definitely more like in a loch or a lake or a river, which, funnily enough, this canal is a river that runs throughout the city. I think that's something you know. It kind of runs throughout all of Ulrich, and this city just used that river and turned it into a canal. I think... Actually, roll a history check for me.
Oh, this is gonna go bad. Okay, that actually isn't too bad. That is a... my history. Okay, that's just 18.
Severance, you know. I mean, you've lived here. You've been out and about. So you would know that there is a major lake, especially in this city. And at the center of this lake, Lake Ferelden, as the city calls it, there is a very small cove/island. And back in the day, maybe about 30 years ago, a lot of fishermen would go to there to party, but not so much in recent memory.
Looking at the kind of the missing poster that he gave me, does this guy kind of look like he would fish?
There's a good chance. I mean, he's definitely like a middle-class guy. You know, he's not necessarily like a noble. But he would... Maybe this guy has the free time to fish. Who knows?
What was the lake called again?
Lake Ferelden.
As she's kind of like reading this, like, I would say it probably is awkward, like this girl randomly whips out a book and starts reading through it, before she kind of looks back over to him. Have you tried Lake Ferelden? That's where all of these connect to, and that could be...
He shakes his head no, and he says,
The only connections I was able to find was that missing person. Unless there's more missing people, I've got nothing to go on.
Well, there is. I had found one earlier, but
and then he says, looking at the camera like he's in the office,
maybe that's a really good place to start.
She kind of blankly blinks at him. Well, we already have this missing person, and that's another missing person. I'm assuming that if you already grabbed this one, does it say like kind of the same stuff, like check the guard's post?
No, actually. The one that he has appears to be like a private missing persons poster that was put up with just like a genuine phone number, because we have phones here in Reliance to call.
Severance not having a phone. Severance with a Nokia. Well, most likely, because of what I know, is that these monsters, what were they called again?
Lorelei.
The Lorelei, they're typically found in fresh water. So any connection to the sea is a no. But Lake Ferelden, typically that's where a lot of people went to fish. So if any of these men have any connection with fishing, and they ended up there, that's probably where they had went missing.
He looks at the missing person poster that he has, and he says,
I don't know if this guy was a fisherman. I didn't really look into it.
Well, I guess you have more leads then.
He looks at you and says, no, you've got leads. I've got to go take care of my kid. He hands you the missing person poster, and he begins to leave.
Well, first, she has to give that one guy his documentation. So she kind of like rubs a hand down her face before
You're doing this now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go give him his stuff.
Okay. You head back to the gate that leads into Valhaven, and you see other people just like going in, you know, casually. And you actually see, you see that dwarf guy and his family, and he kind of gives you a light smile as you approach. And the guard you were talking to is there, and he is like raised a brow at you.
And she'll hand over like what she had gotten from the court.
He looks it over and he says,
Well, is that right? I guess you are fine to go in the city, sir. I'm sorry for the trouble.
The mom and the kids like hug, and they seem very happy, and they begin to go off. And the mom looks towards the dwarf guy, and she's like, "Are you coming?" And the dwarf guy says,
Just 1 second.
and like the guard goes off to do his own thing. And this dwarf guy looks at you, and he says,
Well, you know, I knew I could count on my savior.
and he goes to like shake your hand, and you see on his wrist a very familiar symbol burned into his wrist.
I am probably going to have to roll a sanity saving throw right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh wait, shit. Okay. I know we also talked about this, but
Yeah,
I don't
I've
think
totally
it's
forgot to
written
write up
down.
those rules. Like, you'll have a list of triggers, and then we'll
But
have
I'll
you
have it.
roll.
I'll go ahead and have it just kind of as like a -5 because of the fear.
That's...
Oh. Well, okay. Well, go ahead. Well, either way,
Well, I was like,
I'm actually
that's
going to get half
really
a point
extreme.
of. I'm either way. I'm going to get half a point of XP.
Oh.
I guess if I add my sanity to it, I still got a 3. But add my
Okay.
sanity. Where is that? Sanity.
And we'll say it's fine for the prologue session, but we'll write up those rules after session for you.
Where the fuck is it? Okay, that's a 5. So
You see the
half
symbol,
a point of XP for me.
and it all begins to come crashing down on you. I mean, you're this close to the city, and I think even you knew that. You usually avoided this kind of thing, and like, you knew that this was a chance it could happen. There were consequences of being this close, but I don't think you really expected to be this quickly or this soon. And like, you're not even in Valhaven, but then here's this guy. And I mean, for all accounts, he seems like a pretty normal dude. But it just kind of reminds you a little bit, I think, Severance. They can be anywhere. Anyone.
Yeah.
They're watching
I think
you.
Severance, like, immediately her face, like, this stoic person looks like dead shit terrified. And Severance just starts running off in a random direction. Like she's running for her life.
It's almost as if the walls of the buildings in the city are closing in around you. And the streets elongate on and on, almost like a repeating scene. The fog almost chokes you as you run, catching in your throat. It's wet mist all over you. You're suffocating, Severance. You're drowning in this weight, this expectation, and the things they do in your name. Imagine that guilt that you must feel about that.
I think, like, she's literally just, like, running, like, through alleyways. Like, it seems like she's literally just running endlessly. Before she, I think, hides, like... I imagine that there's, like, a dumpster type thing, like, one that we have in New Age, and she'll just, like, hide on the other side of it, like, hiding from any of, like, the public eye. And kind of just, like, sitting there having a panic attack.
It's almost like this whole sequence is filmed at a Dutch angle, at a tilt. It's uncanny, it's uncomfortable, and I think it takes some time for the reality around you to come to ground. But eventually, like it always does, you find yourself back in the hell that is Ulrich. Back in this broken city.
I think she just, like, kind of sits there, kind of curled up for a bit, just catching her breath before just kind of, I think, just calming down more so. And she's just, like, kind of clutching her head, like, against her knees before she kind of lets up and gets up and dusts herself off like nothing happened.
And you put on that face, the face you always do, the mature, like, I got this handled.
Okay, give me one quick second. My order finally arrived.
Aw.
Boy, guys, whoa.
Panic attack interrupted by Little Caesars. Audience members, what are we thinking? What are we thinking, chat? How we feeling?
I'm scared.
What is up, Kioth Nation? That's a reference only Lucas and Kits will get, but it was funny nonetheless. How we feeling, chat? JB or JB not? This shit pretty good. I'm scared. You should be. You should be very scared. Severance is on some type shit, bro.
Okay, hi.
Hi. Okay. What do you do from here as you dust yourself back off and get back
I
out in the
think-
world?
Severance will kind of walk out and just try to get her surroundings because she now has no clue where the fuck she is.
Yeah. You are straight up, just like in a shopping district of the city.
Okay. I think Severance will just kind of go about business as casual. And she'll go, I think, get some like help. Do we? Okay. Hold on. Will we consider that like a rest or something?
Because you're damaged as fuck? Yeah. Go ahead and just put yourself back up to max health. It's fine.
Okay.
Because you
but
probably
she
were there
will-
for a little bit.
Mhm. And then I'm gonna go get some health potions. Hee hee.
Yeah. You find a little building that's shaped like a wooden barrel, that's like upright, and there's like a little sign that says potion shop, snuggled between two like massive brick buildings. It looks very out of place, and there is like a front door that's got like a bead curtain instead of a door, and you see a little goblin inside running the place.
I think she just walks up. Hello. I need to buy health potions.
Well, I've just got the thing for you, but how many are you looking for?
How much are they?
They're 50 green ember apiece.
She looks down at her green ember bag. I guess we'll be buying. Or, wait. How much typically are health potions?
15 to 20.
But he said 50?
Yeah.
I think she, like, genuinely kind of takes it in for a second before she's looking at her thing and she blinks and looks back at him. 50?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're deep in Ulrich. You think I'm gonna be charging people 10 green ember for this shit? People are dying on the streets. I gotta up the market, maybe.
I think she, like, stares at him for a second before she just starts to leave.
Okay. That's funny.
It's like, fuck no, I'm not paying 50. Girl, I have 200. If I can buy other, like, potions for, like, 20, I'll take my business somewhere else.
Yeah, you find a little market stall, this generic ass human NPC. He's like, "What can I do you for?"
Do you have health potions?
Yeah, 20 green ember apiece.
Okay. Okay, let me do some math real quick.
That was such an
Yeah.
unnecessary bit. There was no reason or depth to that. It was just
I
funny.
think it just shows, like, like, she doesn't say anything. Like, she just, like, looks at him before she leaves. I'll buy 5 of them.
Okay, hell yeah. They do 1d6 per.
Okay. 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 Time to go. I guess I'll grab the old missing poster since now I have to care about this.
Yay!
Um,
It only took an hour.
I mean, I still technically did my other shit, so she goes over and she grabs that. Am I far from where that was?
Yes, very much so.
Oh shit. Well, I don't think she really gives a shit. She goes back and grabs a poster before she heads over to where it had said, like, go talk about it.
Yeah, there is a random guard outpost that's a couple blocks away from that point. You see, it's like, you can see inside this room. It's definitely more like a shack than anything else, but also it is made of stone, like everything in Ulrich. And there's like a front door that's just like propped open. You see a single guard sitting at a desk in here, and there's like a very small jail cell. Very like Western style, like sheriff's office type building, if that makes sense. Like there's really nothing in here except for this guard and a smaller jail cell. And inside this small jail cell, there's like a guy who is more bones than skin, really. And as you enter, this guard like kind of looks up at you from like a newspaper.
She like walks up to his desk and just holds up the missing poster that like letter here.
He kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, "What do you need to know?"
Just any information to help with the lead.
This guy, Julius, or whatever his name is, his buddy, Cogran came in this morning and made a missing persons report about him. Cogran wrote down his address for anyone who wants to help.
And he like pulls out a little notepad and hands it to you.
He's about 3 blocks from here.
All right, thank you. And she turns around and immediately leaves.
Okay. Do you head that way?
Yes.
Yay! You make it to this very small apartment building. It's maybe 3 stories high. The address gave you, like, it tells you what his apartment is. So you go in, you make it to the 2nd floor. There's a very tiny apartment building. A door. There's like a little buzzer.
So I'm not at the door. There, it's like a buzzer system. Like, yeah, he has to let me in.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. She buzzes that.
You hear a ring, like a ringing sound. I can't make a ringing sound, but it's like a fairly like a trilling ring. And there's like a very small speaker box next to it. And it says, "Yeah, who am I talking to?"
I'm here, for, and she kind of looks back down at the missing person. Information on Julius Mangrove.
Oh shit, you'll hear about Julius, yeah.
You hear a click, and the door opens.
She goes in.
Yeah, you see a stairwell that goes up.
Dude. Okay, I go up that stairwell.
Awesome. There's a door, it opens, and there is a dwarf man standing there. He's short for a dwarf. He's got like bushy curly hair and a very bushy curly beard to match. And he looks distressed. It looks like his eyes are puffy and red, like he's been crying. He says,
Oh, please, do come in.
She nods and kind of like does like a bow a bit before she walks in.
He leads you into this like dark and dank apartment. It's very dreary in here, and he kind of sits down on like this plush couch. And he looks at you.
So, she holds up like the missing person poster, information.
Right, yeah. My buddy, Julius, we were out drinking last night with me and our mutual friend Brian. And last night, he left with this rather attractive girl. And, I was really excited about it. And he left with her. And we were supposed to meet up this morning to grab breakfast, and he never showed up. My thought is maybe someone at the bar knows what's going on. Brian was there too, and he works at a bookshop here in the city.
She kind of blinks and closes her eyes for a second, before she looks at him. Was he a fisherman of sort, or had any interest in fishing?
I mean, we'd go fishing, occasionally. Not too often. We do maybe a once-a-month trip, but he's got a little dinghy that he likes, and more often than not, he does go take a trip occasionally. I mean, I don't go with him. I don't know much about it. To be honest with you, I just know he talks about it a lot. He's got his spot, I think. Why?
Do you know where his spot was?
No, I don't. He's never taken me. He's always taking the women he picks up at the bar with him.
Alright. Well, there's reason to have to believe with other disappearances that I found that he was taken by a Lorelei.
What?
A Lorelei, it is a woman, or it could be someone else, of course, that appears like a beautiful woman, but uses her charm to drown her victim.
Oh.
They are
Oh, God.
typically found in fresh water, in lakes and rivers. I had to kill one earlier today who was trying to drown someone else. And another missing person. And she brings out the other missing person poster as well.
His eyes go wide, and he kind of leans back a bit, and he says,
Oh. Wow. Okay. I mean, I think he's mentioned that his spot is in Lake Ferelden. But again, I've never been there. He only takes these fancy women there all the time.
Well, I will say to you now, I do not think he is alive.
he doesn't say anything.
But I will look for him and make sure he gets back home safely if he is. But he's already been here this long. He's most likely drowned.
He's just kind of staring at the missing person's poster.
But I will get more information, but from what you have told me. But I appreciate your help. She does another bow to him before she turns to leave.
He doesn't say anything to you as you leave.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and get the other information just in case. I think she'll go to the bar first.
Okay. You make it to this bar. It is called the Drunken Quester. Sorry, I can actually read my shit now. Standing before you, nestled between two rundown shops, is a rather small building that almost resembles a cottage in many ways. Dark wood paneling, a cobbled-together pathway that leads towards its door out from the stone street, some clearly dying hedges outside. A larger window that peeks into rows and rows of... Wait, that's the wrong fucking thing. I'll just fucking kill myself. It's fine. There's a bar in front of you. The door's open. There's a little sign that says they open in an hour. You see an employee who is sweeping up things. The lights are on inside. The employee is just this... it's a tiefling woman, and she's kind of humming to herself.
I think Severance just walks in and starts approaching her.
She looks up at you and she says,
Sorry, love. Shop opens in an hour. You're gonna have to come back.
And then Severance holds up the missing person for Julius.
she kind of looks at you and kind of leans up against the broom.
I'm here for more information on this person. I
She
have heard
kind of...
he frequents here a lot with women, I guess. So I am looking for more information.
she squints her eyes a bit and she says,
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He always leaves with all these women. Always going home with them. And his friend that's with him always gets annoyed about it. Says he's got a wife or something. It's really none of my business.
He has a wife?
Like I said, not really into my business, but yeah, no, he always leaves with all these women, and every time he does, him and his two little friends that always come in with him, they start bickering about it.
Do you know what the last woman he had left with looked like?
Yeah, she had this. I mean, she was definitely maybe an elf or half elf, and she had kind of this auburn, ginger-colored hair, these bright blue eyes.
Is that like similar to what the other woman
that's
looked like?
the exact description of the woman you killed earlier.
Oh yeah? Does it say that they all look like similar?
No. It didn't really mention what Lorelei looked like.
Okay. I think Severance like kind of raises her eyebrows a bit, not by much, but she kind of nods. Alright then. I think you have given me most of the information I need. And she turns around and immediately starts leaving. And I guess the book shop, I'm assuming, is where I'm going next.
Yes. Hey, guess what I'm gonna read now?
I want.
Standing before you, nestled between two rundown shops, is a rather small building that almost resembles a cottage in many ways. Dark wood paneling, a cobbled-together pathway that leads towards its door out from the stone street, some clearly dying hedges outside, a larger window that peeks into rows and rows of bookshelves. Entering the building, a small bell chimes, and you're greeted by a goblin man standing at the front desk. He's dressed in a loose-fitting suit with no tie and small golden glasses. He has coned-back, thinning hair. He looks to you and he says,
Welcome to the Tattered Scroll. How can I help you?
Do you know the name Julius Mangrove?
Of course I know Julius. He's practically my best friend.
Severance pulled up the missing person poster. I'm
Ah.
here to get more information.
Oh, fuck. Alright. What can I tell you?
I was told that he disappeared last night with a woman. Can you describe that woman for me?
Yeah, just some broad with red hair. I think she was an elf.
Alright. And just for other reasons for my evidence, I had talked to the other friend. He liked to fish, right?
Oh, that's bullshit. Of course,
She tilts her head.
Cognier wouldn't fucking know that, but yeah. He doesn't go fish.
he just starts like doing air quotes at you.
His fishing is him going out and diddling all these other fucking women in the water while his wife is crying fucking at home.
Severance kind of blinks at him. Well, to give you the news and possibly her, most likely the woman he left with last night was a Lorelei, which are typically beasts found in water. They use their looks and they have psychic abilities to charm. They typically take their prey and drown them under the water. He's most likely dead.
I should have fucking told him to stop doing all that bullshit a long time ago. And now it's gonna get him killed.
Well, she glances off like awkwardly. Is probably already killed, but yes. I was told he had a specific spot, however.
Yeah, the fucking spot where he goes. You know he slept with her aunt. Can you believe that shit?
That's crazy.
Thanks,
The way she says it sounds like it sounds wrong. Like this is typically like that is something very out of like herself to say,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know what else to say.
You know he's got this spot up by Lake Ferelden. I mean, it's practically on the island. There's a little island in the middle of the lake. I mean, that's usually where he takes them. I bet he wines and dimes them on the fucking beach, too.
She kind of starts tilting her head again. How do you know exactly where this was?
I mean, he told me. I was the only person he told this shit to. He didn't trust Cognier to go to his fucking wife Tammy and tell her all about it. Like I said, he was practically my best friend. Fucking moron.
I'm very sorry for your possible loss.
You see he pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking.
You want one?
No, I don't smoke.
I mean, really?
He kind of like tilts and looks at you.
I think Severance kind of looks down at herself before she looks back up. Yeah, I don't smoke.
All right, suit yourself.
But I think Severance actually kind of looks around the library for like a second. And I think Severance is going to take a second to find a book about flowers, like a little like glossary about flowers.
Yeah. It's actually called Finch's Guide to the Lesser Divine, and it's a guide to flowers.
I think she like kind of looks at it and rolls her eyes before she goes back over to the front and holds up the book. Would I be able to buy this or check it out?
I mean, it's on the house.
Thank you. Whatever information I'll find, I'll come back to you if needed.
I
But,
appreciate it.
If he's alive, you will see him tomorrow. Most likely he is dead.
If he is alive, I want you to punch him in his face for me.
Okay. She kind of like does a little bow to him before she goes off.
He bows back at you.
Okay. And I'll also put that book in her inventory. What's the book called again?
Finch's Guide to the Lesser Divine. We love Brian. Brian the Goblin. Truly a fucking peak NPC, I won't lie.
Alright, I think she'll start making her way to that lake, but on her way there, she's just like kind of reading it as she's walking through the streets.
Oh yeah. I don't know enough information about flowers. It tells you
I mean,
about
we
them.
could just like, yeah, we could just say that, like, she's just like idly reading it.
As you're idly researching flowers as you go throughout the city, go ahead and give yourself a +1 to nature, Severance.
Like forever?
Like forever.
Yay! Yippee! Yippee! Okay, well, we're still continuing on our way.
Eventually, you make it towards the lake. There's a section of the canals that leads off into the lake, and you can see a very small island with like dozens of pine trees and almost like this. I mean, it's hard to tell at this distance, but you see it out there. There's not like a land, like there's not a beach here that this lake is a part of. It's just like the edge of the canals, like this cobblestone brick of a fucking city that's
Like
at
it
the
more
edge of
looks
this lake.
like a dam type situation kind of going on.
Like everything here in Ulrich is pretty much man-made,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
But there is like a bit in the middle of this like lake that almost looks like natural land.
Yeah, like the center of this lake, there's an island, essentially. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
I think Severance, can I just like look over, kind of like over the water to see if there are already any like lorelei in it?
You can roll a perception check for me, Severance.
Yeah. That is a perception. That is a 22.
If there was a Lorelei, you'd probably be looking right at it, but there's not. No, there's just fish down there, and they don't look too happy about their situation.
Oh, what? They don't like being in a man-made lake?
They don't like being in fucking Ulrich water.
Was there any dead bodies in the lake?
No.
Okay.
It would be really funny if there were, but no.
Is there any like sign of life at the little island in the middle?
It's too far away. I mean, like, this is a very
Okay.
big lake, and it is a relatively large island, I will say.
Okay. I guess she'll kind of start looking around for a free boat to take over.
There were boats everywhere. You can just full GTA 5 style with it.
Okay, I'll do that. Hee hee.
Yeah, you grab one of these little rowboats, you start heading that way.
Perfect.
Eventually, you make it towards this island, and you can see very clearly a large cove cut into the edge of the island, almost like a large V shape. And you can see some glittering blue eyes, at least one set of them, looking back from the darkness at you. These eyes disappear into the black.
Severance goes ahead and puts her hands on her weapons as she walks into the forest. Or like the...
It's a
Whatever.
cove. It's like a... You'll see what I mean when I pull up the battle map.
Yeah, I think I can just say that, see the battle map.
And Claire's here too.
Okay. Whoa!
Also, you see
Okay.
before you... Holy shit. This one's not here.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You
So
see
there's already 3
these...
in here.
Yeah. What you see before you is this large cavernous space with like a giant sort of pond in the middle. These crags that are about 15 feet up, and all around the room there are these 3 blue fish-like people, and they look angry as you enter. There's also a turn here, but it's too dark and you can't like see in that direction. You'd have to like peer down that way.
Do I roll for initiative?
Yes, roll for initiative.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty good.
Me when the fish people.
Oh boy, let's hope they don't fucking knock me down again.
I will say, they are in their true form here. Like, unlike the Lorelei you fought earlier, these look different. They have just like generically blue fish siren in appearance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I am going to die.
Oh, brother!
So you're already gonna kill Severance.
I never said any of that. They do
I almost
appear,
went down.
They do appear to look different than the one you already fought.
Okay, so. Okay, great. So are they stronger or weaker?
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I guess so. You're so helpful.
I mean, you're Severance. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Me who went to fight for my life earlier.
Oh, I hate to say this. Lucas is like B for fucking real right now.
No, yeah.
You'll be alright. Okay, here's what happens. It is this one's turn. Yay! What can it do? Let's find out. I need you to roll a common sense saving throw.
Okay, well that's an 8.
An 8?
Yes, my common sense is +1. I got a 7.
Okay, so you hear, the first one begins belting out this beautiful song. You are now charmed.
Okay, great.
You cannot harm them, and you believe that they are very beautiful and wonderful creatures who clearly need to be preserved. And you should probably just leave, honestly. I mean, this is their home and you're intruding. Not cool, honestly. You interloper. How dare you? That is its turn. It is now your turn. I can have you repeat that saving throw for your action if you'd like.
I mean, I can't. Okay, well that's a 1, so.
Yeah, no, really, Severance, you shouldn't be here, man. This is their home, and you're just kind of intruding. I mean, that's not very nice.
If I leave and it goes away and I come back, like does it like just go for like 24 hours?
Let me check.
Or like, is there a
how long this
range on it?
lasts. Hold on, I'm looking.
Like, do I have to be near them for it to work?
Hold on. Does it say how long it lasts? Okay, it's only while it's singing.
Okay, so if it stops singing, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if it sings forever, then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, is this the end of my campaign, or what?
No, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I can't. I'm charmed. So
Yeah,
what can
but
I do?
On every one of your rounds, you'll repeat the saving throw until you pass. You're essentially
Okay.
stunned until you save. It's a save or
Okay,
suck.
so I'm gonna die.
Sure, we could say that, I guess. I mean, I would never do that to you, but
I think it's okay. Whatever. Well, I can't do anything on my round anyway.
Okay.
So
it is this siren's turn. It is going to. It's gonna. Holy shit! They have so much movement speed in water. Yeah, it walks up to you, and it looks you up and down, kind of like registering if you're a threat or not. It is then going to... It's going to cast a Detect Thoughts on you. I need you to make another common sense saving throw.
Okay, well, that's a 9.
All right. What are your surface level thoughts? What are you doing here? What's your intention?
To kill them.
That's all it needed. That's its turn. This one over here is going to... Sorry, I'm just looking at what it can do. Bear with me. Okay. It's going to approach you, and it's going to make an attack against you, Severance.
Oh, it doesn't get 3?
It gets 2.
Okay, great.
It's a nat 1. That's a 9.
That misses.
Okay. It is that nat 20 Siren's turn. It's actually going to stay up here, and it's going to continue singing. Make another saving throw for me. Common sense saving throw.
Oh, that's a 13.
What's the DC? That is a fail. You are still charmed. That's its turn. It is now your turn. Make another common sense saving throw for me.
That's a 6.
You are still charmed. You really should not be here, Severance.
Mm-hmm.
It is this one's turn. It's going to try to attack you. I'm going to roll both of these at the same time just to save us time here. That's a 2 and an 11.
Okay, so it does hit me.
Okay, just the one?
Once.
All right. These deal less damage, just so you know.
That's what I needed to know earlier. Okay, I'm not
You
as mad
take
about it
8
now.
points of damage. It is this one's turn. It's also going to try to swing at you twice. That's a 2 and a 3.
Okay.
Back up top. This one's going to keep singing. Go ahead and roll a common sense saving throw for me.
Did it not have to, like, roll to keep singing?
It has to use its action to continue singing. And that's the only
Okay.
thing it can do on its action.
Okay, well, that's another 13.
That's not enough. It's keeping going. Severance,
For my action, it's 16.
okay, you break out of it, and now you're immune to that effect.
I am?
Yes, if you successfully save against their songs once, you become immune to the siren song.
For all of them, or just one
For
of them?
that ability, for the next 24 hours, you're immune to that ability.
Okay. But I can't do anything on my turn.
Not this turn, unfortunately.
Okay.
See, it wasn't that bad. It is this one's turn. It's going to try to attack you twice. An 11 and a 7.
Oh, it hits me once.
You take 2 whole points of damage as it cuts into you.
Okay. See, this is why I was like, are they, like, as strong as the ones earlier? And you go, we'll find out. I just need to know if it does as much damage as the other ones.
Yeah, I was trying to create some, like, dramatic tension.
I'm like, no, girl, you're just pissing me off.
This one swings at you
I'm like-
twice. 5 and a 12.
Okay, one of those hits.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, this one, who has now noticed your song doesn't fucking work. What else can she do here? Oh, that's actually kind of... I don't want them to use that ability. Fuck that.
Why not?
Because it's dumb and I hate it, and I hate when my players use it, so I won't use it against them. She was going to cast Sleep on you, but I fucking hate that spell. 2 attacks against you. 5 and a 3.
My CB is 10.
Okay, this does not happen. It is now your turn. These 3 sirens in front of you, trying to, like, scratch at you.
Can I turn my weapon to a second form and attack the 3 of them?
Yeah, is this your saw cleaver?
Yeah, so it goes into its, like, second form,
Fuck yeah.
and I extend it.
And
And
pull-
since... Oh, okay. So are they beasts or humanoids?
These are... Where does it say that? It doesn't say it on this one, but it said it on the other one. I'm just gonna, because they're the same creature, I'm gonna consider them what the other one was. So they are neither. They're not humanoid and they're not a beast.
But they look like people.
They look like people.
Okay. Well,
If you want, you can roll a, I guess, history.
I also read about them earlier. Didn't it say it on there?
Sure, it said it on there. They're considered Fey. For mechanics of the game, they're considered Fey. They're not a humanoid. They're not a beast.
Okay.
Don't ask me
Okay.
why.
I mean, that makes sense. That's fine. Okay. So since the game's based in Bloodborne, the weapon is still able to be used one-handed. Then
Yeah, no.
am I still
100%,
able to?
yeah.
Okay. So that is a 28 to hit.
Is that to hit all of them?
Well, technically that'd be a 30. Yes.
Okay. So you'll pull the lever, and the blade part extends, and you swing at all three of them. Roll damage.
Okay. So that is. I'm also going to use my gun
Fuck yeah.
as well. So that is. And then we talked about, so in its soft form it deals 3d8. In extended it deals 3d12. That's by itself. It's not adding to both of these, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. 12 is. That is 11. That is a 7. So that's already 18 plus 6. 18 plus 6. And then plus the 2d10 I get. 6. 3 plus 9. And then my gun. It's 1. It's 4 plus 6, so that's 10.
What's the total?
So my gun is 10. My long weapon is. I already forgot what I rolled. So that is 30. So that would be 40 points of damage.
40 points of damage as you take a chunk out of most of these guys here. I mean, like all three of them. You do like a giant cleave attack, and it rips through them, tearing them asunder. They do not look good, Severance.
Oh wait, I'll actually only have my, because this what doesn't make sense if I do it like that. Do we just want to say my pistol only hits one of them though?
Yeah.
Okay, this middle one takes 10 extra points of damage.
Okay. And is that total number you had said?
Yeah, so 40, that one takes 40, the rest of them take 30.
Okay, I see, okay. Okay. It's that one's turn. It's gonna try to swing at you twice. It's a 1 and a 4.
They both miss.
This one's turn. It also swings at you twice. With an 8 and an 11.
One of those hits.
Second attack, claws at your eyes with 8 points of damage.
Damn.
It's this one here, who also tries to claw at your face with a 6 and a 9. Nice.
Both of them miss.
Severance, you are back up.
I am going to do the same thing again.
roll the hit
So
for
I'm
me.
going to use my long weapon. That is a 24.
That hits.
Wait, 26. Okay. And so that is 3d12. So that is. Oh wait, that's not a 12. Okay. There we go. That is 11 plus 18, so that's a 28. And then for my gun, that would be base 18. So, and then I am going to shoot the same one in the middle again for 28 points.
How would you like to kill all of them?
I think that she just like, are they all like around the same height?
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to say that she just like swings it like cutting all their heads off. Or cutting them at least all in the throat.
Hell yeah. You definitely decapitate all 3 of them. Their bodies slumping over, their heads rolling, and you have solved my Lorelei puzzle.
Okay. Yay!
Yay. How does it feel to have won and be good at everything? Okay. Yeah, you see this empty cavern before you? There is a tunnel that
Okay.
goes to the right.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I've asked. How deep is this water in front of me?
It's about 3 feet deep.
Okay. So I'll just kind of start walking through.
Okay.
And okay, so over here. Okay, I'll just start.
Eventually, you come to the other side of the cove, and you see several dead bodies on the ground. One of them looks like Julius.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna kind of like look through their bodies, like see what I can find to like show like, hey, I found the person without having to take the whole body.
Yeah, there's like identification papers that these people have for their various
Okay.
jobs and things.
And is there anything like else of interest on these people?
No, not really. Actually, one of
No,
them
great.
has like a bottle of wine with them and some flowers. The other seems to have, like, he also had maybe like a box of chocolates or something with him. But then also, he notably has a picture of what appears to be him and his wife in his pocket.
She'll go ahead and take that as like another identification for them.
Okay.
But they have no like weaponry, gold, nothing else on them, just like
Nope.
this stuff. Okay. Well, found all the missing people. Time to leave. I did what I needed to do, I guess.
Yay. All right, Severance.
So I'll go ahead and head back. Like, I kind of told them all that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and actually just head to the guard post.
Yeah, you see that guard with the newspaper. He's just kind of doing his thing. He has a little radio on.
I put down both of the missing person posters I had earlier, and then put down all the identification that I got of the guys. They are all dead.
Oh, you found him?
And she slides like forward the identification of the people. She found like what they had on them to show like, hey, these are the people.
Well, I guess a found body's a found body.
He pays you 400 greenum.
Okay. Yay! I think she'll go back to the library. Just to give that guy the picture of the daughter and his wife. The one guy.
Yeah. Brian the Goblin.
Mhm.
He kind of says,
God damn it. You know, I thought I should have spoken up to him about his activities. But, I don't know, it was his choice to fuck up his life.
It was.
thank you for this, I guess.
And she kind of nods again. And she'll actually go through and look around the library again.
Yeah.
She's just kind of looking for a fun little, like, fictional book.
Sure. You find The Houses of Hogarth. It's a book about nobles and drama. It's one of those fucking, like, whatever the British drama
It's like a.
series is called.
Is there like? So okay, here's a fun question. What would a fantasy world's fantasy be?
Texas.
Is it like about like the real world?
Yes. You find
That's fun.
a fantasy series called Lord of Accounting.
What? That's lame.
That's lame.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you know
fun
what?
to
You want to
think
be real?
like.
You want to be so real? You want real Reliance fantasy books? Here you go. It is a deep fantasy fiction novella series about dragon tamers.
Well, then that's realism.
Yeah, it's a realistic fantasy series. Actually, if anything, it's more like historical fantasy.
Okay. That's more, I think, intriguing to her. I guess she'll pick that up.
Yeah, it's
What
a
is it called?
historical. Fuck. What's a good dragon taming? How to Train Your
But
Dragon. Shit, wait.
I think it would be funny to like change like how people change the like name of titles to fit there. It's like Lord of the Dragons.
Yeah. Lord of the
Or the
Wing.
dragon-
Lord of the Wing.
No, yeah. Lord of the Wing. The Wing.
Holy shit, Lord of the Wing goes crazy. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a historical fantasy. It comes off like Hamilton a little bit. Is there anything you'd like to do before you leave Severance?
That's kind of it.
Okay. Yeah. You make your way through the City of Mist, finding your way to the capital, Valhaven.
I think she pulls her hood up before she walks in, and she seems very hesitant to look in.
This is a place with a lot of context for you. A lot of memories. A lot of bad memories. I think there's this feeling that washes over you, like your heart sinking to your stomach. I mean, it would be one thing if the cult kind of found you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they already did, didn't they?
Yeah. So I think it's like she's just kind of standing out there outside the gates, just kind of looking up at it.
People.
Or she like. Oh wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
No, you go. You go first.
People around you, this crowd of people looking to get into the great city of Valhaven, this once treasured icon of technology and progress. I mean, you can see the giant clock tower and the train rails from here, from these walls of the city. And I mean, at one point, this city was a beacon of hope, but now it's more or less the opposite. I mean, this place exhumes dread and decay. And there's this heavy feeling on your shoulders as you approach the doors.
I think she adjusts her hood even more before she, like, keeps her head down as she walks in.
As Severance passes through the gate, we cut to black. And that's the session!
Yay!
Yay!
Yay!